Hello, this is Qierre McGlory, realtor and author of the Blueprint to Successfully Selling Your Home. Along with me, my business partner, lender, Mr. Moneyman himself, Wesley Oliver from Axia Home Loans. How are you doing today, Wesley?
I am excellent. How are you?
I'm freaking fantastic. You know what today is?
What is it?
It's the United States Marines' birthday. They actually turned 242nd today.
Wow, that's old.
Yeah, yeah, it is old. No, November 10th, 1775.
That's a long time.
Yeah, that is a long time. And you know what? Tomorrow is actually a Veterans Day as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we just want to take this opportunity to thank those who serve. I want to say thank you for your service. Living in America.
Hey.
Yes, because of what you guys do, we are able to join the civil liberties and freedoms that we get to have in this great country. So I want to take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you. Now, Wes and I have actually put together a program which is called Veterans, Heroes in Uniform. If you decide to hire us as your home buying team, we actually provide you with a rebate to help you with your home buying purchase. This is just a small way for us to show that we are gratitude for what you do that allows us to have these freedoms in this great country. Now today, obviously, Marines' birthday, tomorrow Veterans Day, we would like to talk about VA loans, which stands for Veterans Administration Loans. Now I'm going to pass it on to Wes, and he's going to tell you a little bit about how VA loans work and, and dispel some of those myths about what people think, what you can and cannot do with VA loans. So Wes, I'll pass it on to you.
Yeah, and this product is something that I'm very passionate about. I love working with the veterans, and a very special thank you to my older brother who served over 20 years in the Army. He's retired now, but and all the friends and family I have. So this is by far, in my opinion, the best loan program available.
Oh, wow, okay.
And it should be, because it's there to serve the people that fight to protect our country and our freedoms. It's a program that was put into place about 1944, and the reason it was put into place was to be able to help veterans coming back from the war, transition into everyday life.
Oh, okay.
So there was a bunch of programs that were built into that. One of those programs was the VA loan to help them achieve home ownership. And as far as I'm concerned, if you fight to protect this country and you sacrifice your life to protect this country, then your family and yourself ought to be able to own a piece of it.
I stand behind that.
Yeah. So just going through the basics of the program. So one of the greatest things about this program is you don't have to have a down payment. So it's 100% financing.
Wow. 100% financing.
100% financing. Secondly, whereas with a lot of programs like FHA or conventional where you're not putting down the 20%, you usually have some type of monthly mortgage insurance which protects the lender.
Oh, okay.
Right? In this case, the veterans don't have to pay that.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah.
So you don't need a down payment and you don't have to pay for insurance?
No.
Oh, wow, okay.
No. And whatever funds you use can be 100% gift. So they can be gifted to you from a family member.
Oh, okay.
So that's pretty awesome. And one of the reasons that this program is so dynamic is because it's helping people that, like I said, fight for this country, be able to get into a home without the hassle that some other people have to go through.
I see.
Right? So the power behind this program is the fact that it's actually guaranteed. A certain amount of the loan is guaranteed by the Veterans Administration. So as a lender, when we loan that money out, we know that 25% of that is guaranteed by basically the government.
Oh, wow, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's a pretty powerful thing. A few things about the program. One of the ways in which they are able to fund themselves is there's something called a guarantee fee.
Okay.
Which is usually paid up front by the veteran unless they're exempt from that. And it's financed into the loan, so you don't have to pay that yourself. It's actually financed into the loan.
Okay, so you're not putting any money out with that guarantee fee.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay.
And it works a lot like the upfront mortgage insurance premium you have with FHA, where you can actually finance it in as part of your loan. So you have the guarantee fee, and some veterans actually are exempt from that.
Oh,
so usually, if you're collecting any type of disability, if you were injured, while fighting for this country, anything like that, you're exempt from that fee. That fee, typically, your first time use is 2.15%.
Okay.
Okay. So you have 2.15% that you're financing into the loan, and that's a guarantee fee, and that helps fund the program for people coming in behind you.
Okay.
Right. So it's available to Navy, Army veterans, Air Force veterans, Marine veterans, and actually the Coast Guard. A lot of people don't know that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, and you can actually be, if you're part of the, if you're National Reserve, you're also eligible for this particular program.
Oh, okay.
So where we start with the program is we first go through and we collect what's called a certificate of eligibility. Your certificate of eligibility is issued by the Veterans Administration. It'll have basically how much of a guarantee is available to you, which basically sets the table on what type of loan amount you can go up to.
Okay.
It'll tell us if you're exempt from the guarantee fee, or what we call the funding fee. It'll tell us if you're exempt from that as well. It'll tell us, your status, like if you've ever used it before.
Okay.
So that's a pretty great thing. Also, another great thing about this, and from a recent file we were dealing with,
yes,
if you use it and you pay off that loan, you're able to use it again. You can get it restored. So if you use a VA loan to buy a home right now, and then you decide to upgrade and you sell the other home and that's paid off and you can verify that, you get to use it again and again.
So you get to use another VA loan with no money down.
Right.
Oh, wow. That's great.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. And then there is actually a one-time exemption where, let's say you purchase a home and you've paid that home off, you still own it. It's a one-time exemption where you can use that VA funding fee again.
Right.
That's pretty cool, right?
Yeah, that's really cool. That's really cool. Yes.
Yeah. So, and then also to be, basically able to use it, you just have to be a veteran or active military. If you have a unmarried spouse that was widowed while you were in active service, or if you're missing in action or POW, they are actually able to use it.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah. And then if during, you just have to be basically 180 days into the service. If it's during wartime and you're actually actively fighting, it's only 90 days that you're able to use it. And a few differences as far as the process between this and the normal, say loan. So the appraisal, right?
Yes.
That's a little different because normally, like if we're doing a standard loan, we go through our appraisal channels.
Right.
We have a panel of appraisers and we just, go through there and order the appraisal. You have to go through the VA portal and we have to go through their VA, through their appraisal process to get the appraisal done.
Okay.
Okay. So it's only people that are allowed to do these types of appraisals.
Right.
That are registered with the VA.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So because of that, you have a little less control over the appraisal process. So sometimes, and that's why, usually when you're in that process, you want to get the appraisal ordered as quickly as possible when you're a veteran, when you're using VA funding, because it's out of your control kind of, Like, whereas right now, I can talk to my appraisal department and say, hey, we need to put a rush on this.
Right.
That doesn't happen.
Oh, so that's pretty much like, hey, we'll get to you when we get to you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And, we all know how that can be sometimes.
Oh, yes.
At the DMV, post office, we all know. So
oh, yes.
You're going to want to get that done pretty quickly. Another thing is, as far as the appraisal is concerned, they really have higher standards for the condition of the property.
Yes, they do.
And you know that as well.
Yes.
From a recent experience. So
yes.
They want to make sure that there's no health hazards, that the condition of the property, is in great shape, because we want to take care of our veterans. We don't want them getting in a shabby property.
Right.
So one of the main differences between this and other types of funding is so typically you negotiate with the seller and the buyer.
Correct.
As far as if something like a termite report is going to be completed. With the VA loan, it's mandatory. So you're going to have to complete the termite inspection. Like I said, you already know this.
Yes.
And whatever issues come back on the termite report, Section 1 and Section 2, those have to be dealt with.
Yes, they do.
Right. So that's another important part. So again, you're getting that extra protection, whereas normally you have to negotiate for that stuff as a buyer. And in some cases, as a buyer, you might end up having to pay for it yourself. Right. So this particular program, like I said, you have that built-in protection because it has to be done anyone accepting your offer knows that it has to be done going in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so because of that, there are also some myths out there, and I'm sure you're aware of this.
Oh yes, I'm very, very well aware of those myths out there. So let's squash those myths right now.
Right. So hey, if you're a VA buyer, they're not going to want to accept your offer.
Yes, I hear that. I hear that all the time.
Right.
I still do.
Right. And what I found overwhelmingly when I've dealt with veterans in the past, most people, they are lining up to be able to help a veteran and their family purchase their first home or their new home or whatever, the upgraded home. They're willing to do that. And I think we all should be willing to do that. I would hope so.
Yes.
I would only hope that, there's no one out there saying, oh, this is a veteran's offer. We don't want that.
Correct. Yes, definitely.
But I'm sure from your experience, as well, overwhelmingly people are more than happy to accept that offer.
They are. I rarely get multiple, like a counter if I have a client that's a veteran.
Right.
Because like you said, most people want to help our veterans.
Right.
So when they get an offer from a veteran, it's like, okay, you know what? Let's help them out. Let's get them into this house.
Exactly.
They put their lives on the line. They protect and serve this country. Let's accept their offer. Let's get them into a house.
Right. So you have an entitlement, which is basically covered by the VA, and you have loan limits depending on the county. So I believe Orange County right now the loan limit's like $636.
Oh, okay.
So 25% of that amount is guaranteed. You can still purchase something over that amount. But there's like a little sophisticated calculator we have, and we plug all the information in,
okay,
and it'll tell us what additional funds the veteran has to bring in to cover that.
Okay.
Okay, so if you go over that, let's say you do the calculation, they're going to guarantee that 25%, but you now have to bring in an additional $30,000.
Right.
Well, if you can do that, then you can qualify to go higher than that amount. Property types that are available with this type of funding, you can buy a condo. It does have to be VA approved though.
Okay.
So again, you would go into the VA portal and you would look up that particular condominium or HOA, and it would tell you if it's approved for VA funding. If it is, you're golden.
Okay.
So you could buy a townhome, you could buy a single family residence, but this is the coolest part. You can buy up to 4 units.
What? Repeat that one more time, please.
You can buy up to 4 units. So you can actually purchase a 4-unit property where you're going to live in one of the units, and the other 3 units can actually be producing income for you to help you pay your mortgage.
So you can buy a fourplex.
Yes.
An investment property. You live in one of those. And I forgot, how much do you need for your down payment for that?
Zero.
So you heard that, right? You can buy a fourplex. As long as you live in one of those units, rent out the other 3, get rental income, and how much of a down payment you have to buy this fourplex?
Zero.
Yeah. Boom. Mind blown, right? Yes.
Exactly. So, like I said, it's a great program. Also, if you ever have to refinance, typically, like if you're doing a cash out on a conventional,
mm-hmm.
If you really stretch, you can find a program that allow you to go up to like 85% of the home's value, or 90 in rare cases.
Mm-hmm.
You can go up to 100% if you ever have to do a cash out refinance. 100% of the home's current value.
Jeez.
So it's like I said, it's truly one of the best, loan program there is. Like I said, rightfully so. And I, obviously it should be. They should get our best because they give us their best.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for shining light on the great benefits for a VA loan.
Yeah.
And being able to, anyone that's looking to actually invest in property, be able to buy a fourplex with a VA loan. You live in one of those units. You rent out the other 3, collecting rental income, and you don't have to have any money down. Come on. Come on. Jeez.
There's nothing better out there, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, well, thank you very much, Wes, for shining some light on the VA loan. And, if you guys have any questions about VA loans, any other products, Wes's information will be at the bottom of this video. My information will be at the bottom of this video. Once again, happy birthday to the U.S. Marines on turning 242 today. And thank you again for the veterans tomorrow for Veterans Day for all of the things that you do for this great country, allowing us to have these civil liberties here. We are forever grateful for you guys. And also remember, if you use Wes and I as your home buying team, we will provide you with a rebate because we're extremely grateful for what you do on a regular basis. And hey, this is just a small way for us to say thank you. So have a great weekend. Thank you guys for tuning in. And hey, reach out to us if you have any questions. Bye.